Heyo, my Planet Coaster friends, Johnny5 Live here, and welcome back to another episode of Coaster Spotlight Contest Edition. We're going to be looking at two multi-looping launch coasters in today's video, so stay tuned and let's check them out. All right, welcome back, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. We're going to get right on into things. Today's creation is Fire versus Water Dueling Contest created by KSI Temperature. And here they say, welcome to the Fire versus Water. This is my first full-blown submission, and I hope you enjoy. P.S. Watch out for the hidden drats. And then the ride preferences say night, any seat. Boom. All right, let's get going. So it is interesting. Last episode was Fire versus Water, and we're seeing Fire versus Water here again. And I don't think this is the end of it. If I want to guess, there's probably about 5 throughout this whole contest of 80 submissions. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure, but I remember looking through them in early stages, and I remember at least seeing 3. And it's a little bit interesting to choose Fire versus Water when I used Fire versus Water as the example video. It's kind of like seeing the idea for the contest and being like, yeah, I'll just do that. Sure. And for so many people to do that, it's a little bit strange to me. But there we go. Apparently Fire vs. Water is very intriguing. So let's find out what the first coaster has to offer. Do we have anything going on for the queue? No, not really. We have a torque to launch for both coasters, I believe. Here's a look at all the stats if you want to see them. A little bit high on the G-forces on this guy. Let's get going. Okay, I think we're going to talk about it before we ride the next one. Because I don't want to lose my train of thought, and I don't know if this is a troll submission, but this coaster is essentially doing everything that I've given feedback on in 700 plus episodes of this show. It's hard to enjoy the coaster when you're getting smacked in the face by trees every other second. We must have hit 30 trees in that coaster, and then the fire effects were burning us the entire time. There's a way, I did it on my Chief Beef Raceway specifically, where it stopped at a launch, and you see all the fire there, but soon as it starts, all the fire goes out. And then as soon as it clears, the fire turns back on. Instead, we just get roasted. You have the ability to turn these things off and time them so that it's scary for the rider and they think they're going to get burned, but they don't get just, incinerated. But nobody would survive that ride. The effects are extremely unrealistic, and it made it hard to enjoy the coaster. Now, one thing that this coaster is doing better than we saw in the last Fire vs. Ice video, where it was just crazy sporadic RMCs, this one's spread out a little bit more. There's a little bit more breathing room, so the transitions between some of these elements was a little bit less sporadic. But we still have crazy minimum G-forces of 8, -8, -5, lateral G-forces up to 4. So again, for the newer builders, when you're testing your coaster, see where the lateral G-forces are getting pulled into the purple, see where your vertical G-forces, almost the entire coaster is purple. So it's a way too extreme. That's why your stats are coming out all orange. It's just a little bit too crazy. We're launching straight up and going straight down. It's a little bit too nuts, and there wasn't enough testing done, smoothing and tweaking to the coaster, which makes, you know, even the dueling elements hard to pay attention to, especially, like I said, with all the trees, the fire, and the things going on. It's detracting from our ability to enjoy and appreciate the dueling aspects of the coaster. Maybe I'm being a little bit hard on it. What do you guys think? Leave your comments down below, but we still have one more coaster to ride. We're gonna go at daytime this time so we can see things just a little bit more clearly. And here's the results for that one. And we have similar G-forces and all that stuff. So let's get right on it. Yeah. I mean, did you even look at your coaster? The first launch, we're smacking our faces right away. There's a tree trunk right there. I mean, it just says to me that, like, you didn't even ride your own coaster. It's a little bit frustrating and unfair to the other people who participated in the contest, in my opinion. But then again, I want to refrain from being too judgmental and upset about it. It's just, I feel like I'm triggered. There's at least 3 or 4 things that triggered me in this episode that, if you are a fan of the show and you are a builder in this community, you would have watched some of the episodes by now and realized the mistakes people have made in the past and learned from those mistakes. These are like the cardinal rules. These are some of the things that we see that people have improved on. Now, as a new builder, someone new to the community, maybe I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and they don't know these things. So ride your coaster again, figure out where the trees are smacking you in the face, remove them or turn them, rotate them, look for bugs like floating trees and things not connected. And in terms of your coaster, I mean, I don't want to be too harsh on this because I feel like this is a very common mistake, not watching your G-forces, but you want to avoid the coaster from being purple. Try to reduce that as much as possible. I mean, it's fine to get up to like 5 vertical Gs, but it's happening everywhere. It's very sporadic. It's very heavy, and I just feel like you could tighten things up and keep an eye on your coaster a little bit more, smooth things out, play with that smoothing tool just a little bit more. With all the things going on, it was very distracting to me to actually have any feedback or comment on the actual layout or the interaction between the 2 coasters. So I'll leave that up to you guys because you guys are the judges. You can leave your comments down below. What did you think? What did you think that was done right? What would you improve? What did you like about it? All that stuff. In terms of the fire versus water theming, like I said, we used that as the coaster example for the contest. It's very strange that someone would even pick that, and if you do pick it and it was already given an example of a very good example of at that, I would expect it to be done up really extreme. We do have fire elements, we do have water elements, but they're done in an impeding way that actually harms the guests, and I don't think that's fun for anyone. In terms of terrain painting and details, we could have a bit more of a scorched earth with red rock and dead trees, and we could have more of an aquarium style feel. On the other hand, I think there's a lot of elements you can play with the sea creatures and the water creatures and just the water elements, the storms. There's a lot that you can do there. Same with fire. So even you could push it even further, go with some sort of elemental creature like a fire dragon, ice dragon or a fire god or an ice god like Ifrit and Shiva or something like that, and just, you know, have some creativity that pushes it just beyond the standard fire versus ice. So, I mean, a little bit harsh on this one here today for me, but also honest, and hopefully KSI temperature, you can learn from some of these mistakes for next time. That's the whole point of feedback on the show, and I'm definitely giving more feedback on this contest compared to the last one before I left it all up to the hands of the viewers, and I think, you know, people were missing out on that. So we all know I have certain pet peeves that trigger me, and these trees and things, you know, I don't think the coaster layout was bothering me so much as the special effects, trees, and all that stuff getting in my way that made it hard to appreciate and look at the coaster. So some things to work on. Definitely next time, just keep an eye on your heat maps, keep a close look at things, try to get your results to about 3 or less lateral Gs and about 5 vertical Gs. Definitely dropping pretty low on some of these things. So if there's any feedback you can take from that, is trying to polish out the coaster first and foremost, and then when you add your decorations, just be mindful and ride your coaster a second time and see if there's anything that's going to harm the guests and what can you do to avoid that. Well, there you guys go. What did you guys think? Leave your comments down for KSI temperature. We're gonna move on over to the next creation, so I will see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. We'll see you guys in the next submission. Bye now.